Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. This is part 3 of everything you need to know about Riddle. I have part 1 up and it's all about the campus in general, specifically the Daytona Beach one. Part 2 is for AS students, flight students, and then this video is everything AE. I have my special guest here, my boyfriend Alex. And he's going to be answering some AE questions because he graduated with AE and he's doing his master's right now at Riddle. Just tell me about your background on going into Riddle, when you started classes, when you graduated, what did you enroll in as your major, things like that.
Started classes in August, at the end of August 2020. Went in as still exploring engineering because my grades were not up to standard for AE to get accepted into AE. I think if they get like a 3.5 GPA or higher in high school to be accepted straight into AE. I don't know, I think I had like a 3.3 or 3.4 or something.
Could not be me.
Okay, thanks. Got accepted into still exploring engineering. Had to go through 2 years and keep a good GPA. Like 3.5 or above. So 2 full years of college plus a summer semester. And then at the end of the second year, like in the spring, so started in fall 2020 and then spring 2022, that's when I emailed my advisor. I was like, hey, I'm ready to switch now. And then she looked over my grades and my GPA, and I also had to email the Aerospace engineering chair. It's not a hard process, you just have to talk to your advisor and then email the big boss guy and then get approval, and you just switch like that. I graduated AE with a focus in astronautics in fall 2024, so December 2024. After that, I went straight into master's, which just ended a few weeks ago.
So it took you a total of 9 semesters to go from first enrollment from still exploring all the way to graduating with AE.
Yeah, I think I graduated a semester late.
Yeah, because normally it would be 8 semesters. And then still on top of that, you had a summer course, one summer course, or like
one summer session,
I guess, yeah. And then one winter.
Yeah.
Did you have any credits from high school that helped you at all?
0, because I went to IB school.
Which is worse
And I didn't
than mine.
take any IB tests.
And that's why it took you 9 semesters, plus 2 extra.
Okay, I still graduated.
That is why I highly recommend you take any AP classes, or more recommend DE classes, because they give you a lot more credit than AP, and it's also easier because as long as you pass the class you get credit, compared to AP where you have to take the test and pay for the test in order to get those credits. But if that's an option at your high school, I would highly recommend taking those classes. Even if you don't think you need those classes specifically, it could count towards your electives. Summer classes, from what I know, you didn't take it here, you took it at your local community college.
So you could take, there's like a specific amount of credits you could take not at like Embry-Riddle.
And it's more recommended for early years, like freshman, sophomore, because gen eds, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not taking specific core classes.
Yeah, you can only do gen eds for like
so you
transferring credits.
So you took speech, math, and what was it?
Speech, Calc 2, and Physics 1.
Yeah, so they're all very like gen ed.
Yeah, and Physics 1 lab.
Going on from the summer semester, can you go into your winter semester / study abroad experience?
So study abroad was December 2022, the first semester of actually being officially AE. So 3 classes. So that was 7 credits total. So did that in the winter in Dubai, study abroad. It was more of just being in a different culture and different country, still learning a little bit, but also learning about the culture. and
So you
country.
still had class sessions, but you were out most of the time, like exploring.
Yeah.
Do you recommend people to take
Yeah.
study abroad?
I mean, it's a lot of money.
So if you have the funds.
Yeah. If you have funds, then do it. You'll meet a lot of new people and then probably make lifelong friends from that trip. I would recommend it because if you don't, then you have to take 17 credit semesters. I never took a 17 credit semester or like 16 or over.
And how long was the study abroad?
A month total, basically. So,
For 3 extra classes.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
So basically same as like a summer, like 6-week session.
Around how much did you pay for going there?
Dorm, flight, classes, like tuition, food, shopping out of pocket, 10,000 maybe. But
But it is 3 classes
yeah, it was.
worth of credits, so.
And you can also do study abroad in the summer. Do the same thing. Like go to Europe.
So you think those classes during study abroad were a lot easier than if you were to take them on
They were-
campus?
They were a lot easier, yeah. Your workload during study abroad depends on what professor you go with.
My friend Jacoby and Britton, they all went
Oh,
to
Greece.
Greece for study abroad
Oh,
for
yeah.
AS, and they still
And they kind of
They
had the
were, like-
same experience as me.
weren't they saying how they were taking classes like on a boat or like outside
Oh yeah, from 2 experiences from 2 different
majors?
majors and types of professors, then I would say it's easier.
What did a normal week in your school life look like?
No social life whatsoever. I would just go to class, eat food, and then do homework for the rest of the day. Because I was taking 4 to 6 classes like every semester during undergrad.
Would you still typically have homework on like weekends, or like would you be doing homework on the weekends?
Normally, yes. Literally 7 days a week homework.
So AE is probably the highest workload major. Is it just hard or is it like long?
Both.
That's great. Any big expenses as an AE major? Like, did all your classes need textbooks? Did you need to buy lab equipment?
Well, at least for chem lab, I had to buy like a lab apron, goggles. Half your classes require textbooks. They would take the homework like out of the textbook, like from the back of the chapters, and they wouldn't post it.
Oh.
So,
That's great.
and then computer, I survived with a Mac for engineering, which is typically not ideal. I think if you are a part of clubs on campus where you're working on the project, then you might just need to have a Windows computer for like engineering software, because
It's just more optimal to have as an AE major.
Mac and engineering software not really go along together. But I did survive with a MacBook my whole bachelor's.
And then you graduated and then got a Windows laptop.
Yeah.
It would have been easier if you had that earlier, huh?
Yeah, it would have been easier because it would have ran a lot smoother, like all the engineering software.
But it's not impossible if you don't have it.
Yeah, not possible because you can also just go to campus and use the computers there.
Any calculator that you had to buy?
Most undergrad classes, you can't have a fancy scientific calculator. Like
'Cause
Like
it's
the
cheating.
yeah, like the TI-84. I couldn't use that basically for most of undergrad. You have to use like some non-scientific calculator. You don't really need $100+ calculator to make it through undergrad because you're probably not going to use it.
Any advice for incoming freshmen?
Don't procrastinate. Always start your work at least like a week before it's due. If I did start it a week early, then I wouldn't have to work on the weekends or during like breaks or stuff. I would highly recommend like getting into a club, like an engineering club on campus, like an academic club. That will help you like succeed in like the job realm of like college, because it would really help to have like a project or a club on your resume rather than just like a class project. Academic clubs like that you do on your own time outside of class is more like hands-on. So that's what I would recommend to do in undergrad that I wish I did do. Another thing to note is that, I mean, there might be the same professors that I had classes with, so just be prepared to learn on your own, especially like the specific like AE classes. Be prepared to put in a lot of hours outside of class to actually pass the classes, some classes. Because some professors, they don't teach and then they just like let you do your own thing. Some classes, I mean, they do like lecture like on the board, but they just are like talking through their notes and not really explaining anything in depth like on the whiteboard. One more thing is that don't feel like you're the only one that's behind or that you're confused about a certain concept, because I guarantee you that there's at least like 5 other people in the classroom that feel the same exact way as you, or feel even worse.
Would you recommend AE as a major overall, like no matter what school you're going to? I mean, obviously like it's hard, but do you enjoy the overall concept of AE?
Yeah, I did enjoy AE because I've always liked space as a kid. That was like the one thing that I always knew that I wanted to do. You have to have at least some interest in like space or airplanes or anything in between to really not feel miserable while you're going through AE.
Would you recommend AE at Riddle?
I'll recommend it.
You would?
Yeah. Even though it was hard, and even though there was some bad professors, I'd say it was mostly a good learning experience, especially from a school like this. I enjoyed the feeling after each semester, just like knowing that I made it through like another semester to get to the end goal.
What did you say your focus was?
Astronautics. There was astronautics, aeronautics, rocket propulsion, and then there's like another one. I forgot what the 4th one was. It's like the big 3 that I hear from like students in all classes.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for coming on and explaining all this, answering questions and giving advice.
Hopefully I helped someone.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it informative somewhat. If you have any other questions, comment them down below and I will probably ask him to answer it for me in the comments. And that's pretty much it.
See ya!
See you next time.